Hello, everybody. We are here for another rendition of our live stream. I am waiting to get our app fired up here for our live stream over there. So bear with me while I get a little bit of tech going. I think that we are good now, though. I'm going to pull it up over here so I can see the comments, and then we will officially be all good. All right, welcome in. I am Sarah. I'm founder of the Sisters Enchanted, and I'm just checking a little bit of a little teching here. Let me just do some teching. I think we're good, but no, it says we're good. Okay, I just can't find it. It'll pop up for me, I'm sure. Welcome in for this next part of our 5-day journaling for manifestation, for shadow work, for self-care, this little adventure that we have going on here at the Sisters Enchanted. Do y'all know that we have had 16,000 people sign up for this free class? There you are in the app. I got you now. All right. We've had 16,000 people sign up. It has been so amazing to see all of the shares in the comments, everybody supporting one another. And I got to tell you too, it's been a bit of a whirlwind for us here at Team Sisters Enchanted to just keep up with everything. And we are so privileged to be able to do this and help so many people. And it's so exciting and just this big energy swirling around the Sisters Enchanted right now. So thank you so much for participating. All right. If you are new here, somehow stumbled upon us in the last few days, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. As I said a minute ago, I'm Sarah. I'm the founder of the Sisters Enchanted. Since 2016, we've been bringing classes just like this one to thousands and thousands and thousands of people online. We have programs that we teach, communities that we bring people together in, and this is the way that we bring more intention, more intuition, and more everyday magic to the world around us. So I am looking at multiple devices to watch comments. If I don't answer your comment, please know they're moving really fast for me in the app, especially if you're watching from there. And we do have Anna. She's my co-founder, my real life sister. I'll get her on camera sometime. She's my real life sister, co-founder of the Sisters Enchanted. She's here in the comments helping out today. We've got Christina here in the comments. She's our student support sorceress. We've got Sarah Milne here. She's one of our teachers. She writes for the Sisters Enchanted. She brings programming together. I know that we've got tons more people helping us out, but that's who I know for sure is here with us today, and they can answer any questions for you as well. If you have any tech questions, I do see one coming around here in YouTube. Email us and Christina will get you sorted out with any tech sorts of things. And thank you for the comments on my nice lighting today. This is natural light as opposed to normally I'm in an office that doesn't have any windows. So lighting for me is always very tricky. We are in Salem, Massachusetts for a small event we are hosting tomorrow. And we're excited to have some of our community members joining us tomorrow here in Salem. They're here already walking around, and I'm sure we're going to bump into some of them today. And so I'm in a house, I think the house is, Christina or Anna might remember in the comments, from 1849, I want to say, something like that. It's a beautiful old house, 3 stories, and I'm in the middle floor right now with beautiful windows all around me. So yeah, the natural lighting game is on point instead of my awful office lights with no windows. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. All right, so we are technically on day 3 of this challenge and class for journaling. We did not have a day 2 live stream. We're not going to do a live stream tomorrow either. The next one will be on Friday. But today, we're going to do a little bit of a rundown, sort of where we've been, where we're going, and some more extra information for you. I got to tell you that I think we've had the most positive comment I've ever received for this free class. Somebody posted in a comment that this journaling class was irritatingly good, or the prompts were irritatingly good. And I was like, that is the best comment, to be irritatingly good. So if you're doing the prompts, if you're looking at the the things we're bringing you through. You might be having some thoughts here, and that would make a lot of sense to me. One, when you signed up for this, you might have thought to yourself, I thought this was just going to be like a journaling class. So I thought I was going to just write some things, have some journaling prompts, like pretty like fun and light. And while it should be light, because hopefully you're using a journal that you love, and hopefully, oh, Anna's here. Should we make a little announcement quick too? Guess who's got a baby number 3 on the way? It's not me. It's Anna. Baby number 3 is coming. Anna just put her belly on camera, so I might as well tell you. Anna's downstairs moderating with Christina, who's in the house. Anna, you should send Christina up to do a flyby. This is going to be I'm sorry, I'm going to try to stay focused. We're never all in the same place together. Let's send Christina up here to say hello. And I will keep filling you in. Yes. Congrats to Anna are all around. They're flying by. Baby number 3 for Anna. One of hers is 10. She's got a almost 2-year-old, and it's a big age gap there. And she's got baby number 3 coming in hot at the end of this year. So we're pretty excited. And here's Christina, who does not have a baby on the way. So there's Christina. She's the one who answers all of your emails. So be kind when you email in, because Christina's a real person, not a robot. And she answers everybody individually. And I got to tell you, with this free class happening, Christina's been fielding sometimes upwards of like 200 emails a day. So hi, yeah. So big round of applause to Christina. She's the MVP behind the scenes. So hello, everyone saying hello, Christina. Hi, Christina. All right, she's off to go answer more questions. It might be me on video, but we've got a whole crew here. Our lovely Sarah Milne, she lives in England. And just with the things happening, the timing wasn't right to get her over here. Sarah's saying the airline industry is a mess in the UK. We were hoping she would be here, but just with cancellations and different things happening, it just didn't line up this time. So we're hoping to get her stateside, though, by the end of the year, sometime soon, and we can all meet her. So there's Christina, real person. Be nice to her. She's doing a lot right now for everybody. And there's Anna holding down the fort also. Those of you who are new here, you'll see Anna is in our programs often. She's more inside of the programs. Anna helps teach our astrology program. She teaches in our membership program, Holistic Witchery. So Anna's all around more inside with all of our teammates and students. And anybody who knows Anna knows that she is a shining light. Anna is the shining light here at the Sisters Enchanted. Anna smiles, and the world lights up when Anna smiles. So it's you got to get in our programs to get to know Anna a little bit more. All right then, back on track. So I was saying before we were baby bump dropped by Anna that when you signed up for this, you might have thought this is a journaling class. So like, I don't know what to expect. And I hope it's been a little bit of fun, a little bit lightness for you. Maybe you picked a really cool journal, or just like any notebook whatsoever, like a pen you love, or you've just been making some space for yourself. But what you're seeing here with these prompts is that we really are taking you on a journey through manifestation, through self-care, through shadow work. And the act of journaling helps to bring this out of our head and put it on paper in a clear way. All right, so yesterday, day 2, was the portion that we were sort of working with self-care. And what I wanted you to do on day 2 was take your intentions, your desires, the thing you want more of in life. And I wanted you to look at day 2 and consider, are you living them or are you not? And can you figure out why? Here's the thing, is there's a million reasons why it's hard to do things. We all have reasons why it's hard to do things. All of us. We've all, experiences may vary on the spectrum of experience, but there are things that are happening for everybody that makes it hard to move forward and do the things that you want to do. When we are journaling, it helps us to see the areas that we can control and maybe focus more on those and a little bit less on what we can't control. And here's the thing about self-care. When you are feeling like you don't have time to take care of yourself, So you do something else in the name of self-care that's really like a Band-Aid. You know, maybe you go shopping, but you don't really need more clothes. Or maybe you like play, do people still play Candy Crush? I don't know. Maybe you play Candy Crush for 2 hours and you're like, I just really needed the rest and to tune out or something. And maybe sometimes you do need that. I'm not saying don't do that ever, 0 time. But when we do it in the name of self-care, I always want to challenge to say, is that truly what you need to care for yourself right now? Or is there, Anna says Pokemon Go, yeah. Or is there something there, something that you saw in your journaling that you felt like it was a hurdle or something that was getting in the way of your desire that you're not taking action on? Taking action on that, that is true self-care, because that's the thing that's going to create the foundation for your future. What's this have to do with journaling? The more that you sit down and go through this rhythm that we're taking you through, the more you do it over and over again, the more you can hold yourself accountable. The more you can see like, hey, I've written down the same thing for four days now. Maybe today I'm going to take action on it today. I see a pattern here. I'm going to go ahead and take action on it. So we're getting it out of our head. We're retraining the way we think about ourselves and the way we're thinking about life so that we can move forward in a way that creates a life that really is self-care, right? That really is self-care. So that's what journaling has to do with that. It's like built-in clarity, built-in accountability for yourself. Where are you not taking action on your desire? And through these journal prompts that we're bringing you through, you can see that more clearly. You can see that more quickly and shift and take action. All right, I see some comments coming through in our app about a cat laying on a journal. Is that an excuse? I've got 2 cats. Anna's got a cat. Christina's got a cat. Sarah Milne on our team, she's got a cat. We think it's a perfectly fine excuse. Cats are really in control, right? We're at their beck and call. All right, so today's prompts are on shadow work. And I do see Jenna joined us on Facebook that your app keeps crashing. Yes, we are breaking the app a little bit. So if you're having any trouble, YouTube, Facebook, you can find us over there as a backup. We apologize. We're doing the best we can. And thank you, Jenna, for being flexible and coming to hang out on Facebook. I appreciate it. Okay, so shadow work is our topic of today for the journal prompts. If you are in the app, then you may have seen some of the extra resources we posted last week for our pre-work. You can totally scroll through and still find them. I did post a workshop replay about shadow work. I'll give you just a really quick, what is it, so that you can apply this to the prompts that you're looking at today. The idea with shadow work as we teach it here is that it's this combination of the parts of yourself that you've not been looking at, combined with all the stuff you do every day to fill your time, maybe because you think that people will think less of you if you don't do these things. It's what makes you a good person to do these things. The combination of these two things. So how you are filling your time with things that are not soul aligned. You're saying yes because you feel like you should. And then also the parts of yourself that you're not looking at, that you're denying because you're filling your time with these other things, bringing these together and starting to understand what is me, what's at my true core, what are the parts of myself that are actually holding me back and not all this external stuff that I think it is. And that is shadow work. So through these prompts we've taken you through, on day 1, we asked you to set an intention. What are your desires? What is it that you want more of in your life? What is it that you desire to feel like? What do you want to have life look like for you? On day 2, are you or are you not taking action? Those were the journal prompts for yesterday. And that's the self-care piece, because taking action on them is caring for yourself. Not taking action is not caring for yourself. And then today, day 3, is shadow work. So it's really digging into the why. What are my barriers here? How am I holding myself back? What can I do to change my perspective here, right? So an example in my life, anybody who's been here for the last 6 years, you've seen the spectrum of this for me. When I started the Sisters Enchanted, I had a toddler and I had a baby on the way. My kids now are 8 and 5. The Sisters Enchanted is 6 years old. I operated an entirely different business for the first year of the Sisters Enchanted and did both together, right? And I was often saying things like, nobody supports me, I'm doing this all by myself, I don't have the help I need, like lots of things. It was very true that I felt that way. It was very true that I was very, very overwhelmed and had a lot to do. It was very true that it was an exhausting time of my life. That's all very true. And at the end of the day, though, it's my responsibility to set boundaries. It's my responsibility to clearly ask for what I need. And if I don't get it, to ask again or to find the person who will give me that support, right? That's my responsibility. And that's part of shadow work. So this comes after this, are you or are you not living your intention? Because we want you to look for yourself, look to yourself and be your own best friend here and figure out the way forward. See the way forward maybe in a new way, which is going to come tomorrow. After you do the shadow work today, tomorrow we invite you to reconsider the path forward. So often we get stuck in how we expect things to look, how we think they're going to look, what help looks like, what support looks like whatever this is, right? That we don't think about it in a new way. What are creative ways to get things done? What are creative ways to say no to something? How can I change this here? And that's going to be on tomorrow. So a little glimpse of what's to come. Now, the one thing I want you to look out for here is to consider being aware of falling into the pit of dwelling, reliving, like hashing it out all over again when it comes to shadow work. Because so many of our shadows are attached to things other people did to us or said to us or experiences we had that involve other people. I don't know, I'm inventing percentages, but I think that because of how attached we are energetically to the world around us, everybody around us, I would contend that if not close to all of our shadows are aligned to somebody else, an experience, something we witness outside of us. And it's very easy to dwell on that and easy to say like, well, this person ruined this for me. This person made it hard for me. Because of this, I can't do this. And I've had some traumatic experiences of my own in life that I could easily say, because of this, it's too hard for me to do this. I can't do this. And sometimes that might be true, that things are just too hard to do in that moment. That doesn't mean there's not something else you can't do. And that comes from you. So the one thing I really want you to be aware of with shadow work is just looking at today. So the prompt asked you to look at times in the last week when maybe you felt some emotions like shame, fear, guilt, resentment, things like that. And then how that influenced the decisions you made, the words you said, the thoughts you think in this moment. And then those thoughts, that decision, those actions, how are those impacting the future? So it's not so much, well, this is what happened to me in the past. It's right now I'm feeling resentful because of X, Y, and Z. This also happened to me in the past, but thinking this now, what future is that casting? And that's how we do shadow work. That quick, really looking at, I know where the story is coming from. What choice am I making right now because of it? And how is that impacting the future? And does it align with the future that you want? If it does, go on with your bad self. If it doesn't, that's where we do shadow work and we shift. And then we go into day 4 tomorrow, where maybe you reimagine the way that this could possibly look, All right. So that is where we are right now. This is where we have taken you. Where I see people really, really fall off with this kind of thing is trying to go it completely alone, not have any support from like-minded people, not have encouragement from like-minded people. And that's why we are loving the threads over in our app group, so you can see inspiration from others. We're in there commenting, responding back, and really helping people to get out of their own way when they're stuck, maybe giving another way to think about things. Because the journaling does take everything out of your mind and put it on paper so you can get out of your own head. But occasionally we all can get a little bit stuck, and having that sounding board of people who are going through the same thing that you are, the same process, which here is this journaling class and challenge, having people going through the same process really helps you to have people who are understanding it and who are experiencing it themselves to talk to. There's nothing like, if you've ever done something, maybe you were, I don't know, training to run a 5K, and you were like telling a loved one about it, and they just couldn't understand because they've never done it, right? So when you try to tell friends and family and get support, and they're like, I don't understand. Why are you talking to me about this? I can't relate. Or they give you a bunch of advice and you're like, that advice isn't relevant. You don't understand. Stop giving me advice. I didn't ask for advice. That's why communities are so crucial, because you have people doing the same thing that you are who really do understand, who really, really do understand, right? All right, I'm going to check through some of the comments here. I see one just right off the top here. I can see how shadow work and therapy could be really useful. Yeah, and I will differentiate here for you too, for those who might not know this, that therapy and shadow work, I think they get sometimes, and not, this person's not doing this here, but sometimes I think they get confused. Therapy is about processing the past. Shadow work is not about processing the past, not at all. When you're doing shadow work, the point is not to say this happened to me and then I felt this way and then like, let me relive it. That's not what shadow work is. Shadow work is about seeing what happened and then seeing how it's impacting you right now and how the decision you're making based on that is impacting the decisions you make for the future. So an example for me in my life, my mom was a young mom and she's a great mom. I love her to death. And it also, as the older sibling, led me to growing up very quickly. I took on responsibilities as a teenager, been working full time since I was 17. And I very much can feel like I have to do everything to take care of everybody. I very much can feel like I have to keep the world together, right? Now, is that true? No, that's absolutely not true. But I can get to feeling that way, which leads me to resentment when I overdo and don't feel like I'm getting anything in return or getting what I expect in return, which then makes me angry and say not nice things, right? So the shadow work here is not reliving my childhood. That's for therapy. It's for seeing, like, I know this about myself. I act in this way, overdoing, and then I get resentful, and then I get angry, and then I say not nice things. This happens because of the past. And I see it happening right now. And is that creating future relationships that I want to have? No, it's not. I need to shift this. I need to shift the thing I'm about to say. I need to shift the action I'm about to take. I need to reset a boundary in the present to cast a different future. It's not about processing. Processing is for therapy. Shadow work is for, I see where this is coming from. Am I about to recreate the past, or am I casting a new future? And that is what we want to do with shadow work. That is what we want to do. All right, and I did see some tech questions coming around here about programming. All of the resources are in the app. If you go in the feed, they're all there. There's also a folder with all of the videos, and the videos will be up in the app. The 5 videos, if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, there are 5 short videos and worksheets. They're in the app, and they will be up until August, I think it's the 14th. That's a Sunday. Through August 14th, they will be up for you. All right, let's see here. I'm getting a hand cramp from holding my phone. That's where our app comments are for me. All right. I see somebody else who's the oldest of 5. Yeah, between my step and half siblings, I'm the oldest of 7. But there's step and half siblings in there, and there's a huge age gap. My youngest brother is, I think he might just be 19 now. I don't even know their ages. There's so many. He's 18 or 19. Let's see here. Okay. What if anxiety is freezing me from even writing this next part? Then don't write it. You can exercise and think it. Like, I don't mean like go on a treadmill. I mean, move. That's the right word. Move. You can go for a walk and you can think it. You can write one key word and you can journal around it. You can do art journaling around one key word. There's certainly traumas that I won't share here publicly. They're just too big for this amount of people watching. But those of you who've been in our community, you might, I reference it in our private communities. And, you know, this is a trauma that I would never in a million years relive. I would never talk about it. I would never write about it ever. But does it impact me today? Yes, it most certainly does. What I could do is just think, this is freezing me in my actions forward. And then I can go for a walk, come back and say, I release this at this time. And then when it rears its ugly head again, I can do the same thing. That's still that, while it's not writing pen to paper, you're having the same effect with journaling. One of the things I would love to consider everybody to do in this free class here is rethink also how you think about journaling. just writing stuff, that's like writing like a diary as a teenager or like a 12-year-old or something. And that can be fine for you. If you're doing that, I would say, what's your intention with that? Why are you doing that? What do you plan to do with this thing here, right? Like, what is your intention? The journaling is intentional. It is intentional creation. It's intentional thought. It's intentional words. You can do this with art. You can do it with one word, poetry. You can cut words out of a magazine and make a sentence in collage. I love to think on a journal prompt, dance, hike, go for a big walk, and then maybe write a sentence in my lunar tracker. We have a lunar planner, it's not a planner, a lunar notebook that we use in our programs for our students. And I'll write just a line in there after going for the walk. So rethinking journaling. A journal is like a record of the now and what we're creating. If you are a person who loves all things witchy woo, you can call this your grimoire or your magic book too. If you want to go that angle with it, that's totally fine with me. But it's not just writing stream of like whatever you're thinking. It's very intentional with what you are writing. All right, Karen, how do I shift from scientific journaling to this? Well, Karen, so you've got access to all of the tools we have here at the Sisters Enchanted. So I would really just separate like your settings. For me, like work and home, I can very much carry all of my work stuff into my daily life if I don't have clear separation. So maybe a different space where you journal in a specific way. Those of you who've heard us talk about a quest pack or creating a little sacred space, like having a bag or a basket with just your favorite journaling supplies, something that sets the tone. Like you light this one candle and this is my intentional journaling time, which is different than the other kinds of things that I do. And really just setting yourself up in a different way. Let's see here. I'm going to just scroll through some more comments here to see if there are any other questions that I can answer. There's a lot of them, so I probably will not, get to all of them. But see if there's anything here that would really just, Christina or Anna, if there's something that everybody, like a good question that you'd like me to answer, if you can throw it in the YouTube or Facebook comments, there's fewer of those, I'll totally answer it. But I think that we got to most of the things. Sorry, I'm totally have a frog in my throat right now. Yeah, and Tara is bringing up astrology here also, and it's one of the things we teach here at the Sisters Enchanted. And certainly there's different parts about your astrology which could really tell a lot about what would be the best way forward for processing information as well. That's definitely a big rabbit hole to go down and not something we're going to talk about here today. But Tara's mentioning being a Capricorn and the challenges that can come with different ways of being astrologically. I'll share in my life, I'm a Cancer rising, which makes me see the world as a very emotional place. Like I want to care for everybody. I carry the weight of everybody on me. I just want to take care of everybody. My husband's a Capricorn rising, which is the exact opposite. And he's like, like less emotion. So you can see how even knowing these things can really help you to be more reflective in your shadow work. Because when I think my husband's not being emotional enough, like, no, that's not the case. He's being the right amount of emotional for who he is, right? Like it's just different than me. And we can learn this and do more and really impact our shadow work and our journaling and how we understand the world and process the past and even look at our desires. So for me, being so emotional, it's really important for me to understand, how am I setting boundaries around myself and my energy, because I will drown myself in emotions and in other people's things and in thinking I need to sell my house to save everybody. So it's really important that I set up those boundaries, which helps me understand what intentions I need to set and how to live them and what self-care looks like. And journaling, though, helps us do all of this because it really helps us see where the holes are in our lives compared to where we want to be. I think that no matter how great life is, and I'll be the first to say I should complain about nothing. Like my life is very, very good at this moment. And yet there are things that still hurt. There are days when I'm in arguments with loved ones, and there are days when I'm not my best self, and these things happen. And there's, I own a business. There's strains that come with that. And I'm a mom and a homeschool mom, and there's strains that come with that. And so there's always things where we can say, that wasn't my best reaction. What am I creating here, and how can I change that? And journaling can really help us to do this. All right. I think that Marjorie is saying, I always thought shadow work had to be about exploring your past, childhood, and traumas. Yes, that's a very common misconception, that there's a certain way to do shadow work, for one. Two, that it's some like dark, evil thing because it's called shadow work. And three, that it's processing past traumas. And it's really just about seeing it, right? Crystal's saying, I get stuck in certain emotions, have no clue why I'm there, or how to get myself out. Yeah, and that can be a struggle too. So I have been doing work like this for years and years and years and years and years and years now. And there are still times when I just now realize, oh my goodness, that's where this is coming from. And it's like a light bulb that I just realized, oh, it's because of this thing. This one thing somebody said to me made me dim my light, and I didn't even realize it, or made me afraid to do this, and I didn't even realize it. And if I've been doing this for 20 something years and I still have these moments where I'm like, that snuck up on me. If you're new to this, you have grace, because it will come, and it will come over time. It will come over time for sure. Yeah, and I see a lot of people too, and then we're going to wrap this up, but Nicole's sharing self-discipline. That is a lot of folks. That's a thing that I see time and time and time again with comments. Anybody who feels like I can't finish anything, I don't keep up, I don't have enough discipline, I'm not motivated enough, I procrastinate. Look in your life for areas where you don't do that, because there are areas of your life where you don't do that. It might be at work. It might be if you have kids. Maybe your kids always have lunch. They always have lunch money, or they're always dressed every day. Like, there is something in your life that you always do. And then I would ask yourself to consider, why do you always do it? Why are you disciplined in that, but not the thing that you think you want to do? And if you're not disciplined in something, is there something that you're afraid of around it? Like, people might judge you, or you're afraid of what the changes might be. Sometimes we're afraid of changing as people and what that will mean for relationships. So like, if you change, what does that mean for your marriage? What does that mean for your kids? What does that mean for the way your family thinks about you? So sometimes with discipline, it's not so much that you don't have discipline. Either there's some reason why you're purposely, you might not know it, but you're really like being discipline avoidant because it's scary. And then the things you are disciplined in, why? Do you love that thing? Or are you disciplined in that area because you think that it's what makes you look like a good person? So anybody who comes to my house, we were joking about this morning, that I'm not the one that's going to offer to cook for people. I'm not going to be the one who gets up and just like wants to clean my house. I am not disciplined in that area. And also, though, I don't think poorly of myself because of it, because I'm disciplined in other areas that I'm really proud of. And that's my strong suit. And so I really lean into that. Not being disciplined is not a bad thing, because I promise everybody there is some area of your life that you are disciplined in. What is it and why? Are you in alignment with that and not? And Leslie says, I have ADHD and motivation is difficult. You're right. There are things I can focus on for hours. Leslie, I have ADHD. And I got like the official diagnosis, I think it was last spring or something. I got the letter in my hand, and there's certain things I do not have tolerance for that other people would judge me for. They'd be like, what do you mean you don't clean? What do you mean you don't cook? Like, what are you talking about? What do you mean you don't care if there's like your kids bring dirt in the house? I mean, I'm not that slovenly, but other people would judge me for that. It's a different value. And the things I'm really good at, that's what I'm disciplined in. Bringing this back to journaling, though, is that journaling, when you ask these questions, why? Is it in alignment? Why am I disciplined in this? And do I like being disciplined in this? Or this brings us back to shadow work. Am I spending my time being disciplined on something that I don't really want to be doing because society told me I should do it to be a better person? Or would I really love to do this instead? I need to just say no to that and make space to be disciplined in the thing that I love, right? And we can do this through journaling. This process that we're giving you over these 5 days, it is a process. It follows our 5 eye spiral. If you're in the app, there are some resources. The 5 eye spiral, I will say, it's best learned by doing rather than reading about. It's really a doing, and you're starting to do it through this journaling. Whether you realize it or not, you are doing it. You set an intention, you integrate it. That means you live it. You do shadow work. This is insight. This is the 3rd eye. Are you living it? Yes or no, and why? The 4th insight, or the 4th eye, excuse me, which comes tomorrow, is ideate. And that's where we get to look at these last 3 days of prompts and say, based on what I learned about myself, how can I think of this differently? How can I change my expectation? How can I pivot this a little bit to have a creative solution to this problem? You know, you don't have a babysitter, you can't afford a babysitter for time for yourself. How do you trade with somebody? How do you find a neighbor college kid who would do it for a movie, two tickets to the movies, or a ride to the movies on Friday night with their friends, you know? How can you do this? And there is a visual, we have it, we'll post it over in the app for you. Our holistic witchery program is in depth all around this. So, you know, if you've been here for any period of time, I 10 out of 10 recommend Holistic Witchery. It's open for registration through next Thursday. And we have like a special welcome group for everybody who signs up so we can get you sorted out. That is where you're really going to learn to live it. You learn to do intentions with the rhythm of the moon, use your energy centers for integrating what it is that you want in your life, a whole unit on shadow work, everyday magic, all the fun witchy woo things for recreating your vision for the future, tangibly doing that with your own inner power. And then, of course, when we do all of this over and over again, our intuition expands, and it expands because we learn to trust ourselves and we learn to hear ourselves. And that's going to be day 5 of your journaling. So if you have the worksheets, you already know the prompt, but the video will come out on Friday over in the app. And then in Holistic Witchery, we teach a whole divination unit to really tap you into that inner power, your inner power that you all have. Yeah, totally join us in Holistic Witchery if you've been interested. One of the things we see people say, I can't do it right now because of time and because of money. And I will say I totally get both of those things. As a mom, a business owner, a homeschool mom, and as a business owner, that does not exactly come with guaranteed money in the bank ever. I will say that the one thing that is most valuable in your life is time. You can't make more time. You can always make more money. There's a million creative ways to make money, which is why we include Conjuring Abundance as a bonus to Holistic Witchery to help you change your mindset around money and how to find it, how to make it, and how to manage it differently so that you have more of it. You can't get more time. There is no time. You're now, every day you don't do what you want to be doing, that's a day gone. Money, you can always make more. You can sell something, you can ask for a raise, you can take on a side hustle, you can always make more money. And I say this as a person who owns a business, who does not come from a family of money, who did this with no money in the bank, $50 to get started. I promise you, you can always find money. You cannot find more time. And so sit with that. Sit with that there. Jenna says, legit life-changing. Yeah, Jenna was on the fence joining us in Holistic Witchery, and it's been a great privilege to see you just over the last few months and the changes that you've shared with us in your story. I remember when you signed up and you were like, I made it work. And you signed up, and it's been so good getting to know you and these little steps you've shared with us along the way. It just makes my heart sing. So thank you, Jenna, for being here and for being brave to share with us over in the group. All right, y'all. This was a big one for today. So thank you for watching. Those of you who are in the app, the replay will come up in the app, and you can ask comments or put comments on the replay. Those of you who are not in the app, totally get yourself over there. I'll answer one more question here that Lynn is saying with Holistic Witchery, there will be access to all the past stuff, or is each class brand new? It's scary when I get overwhelmed by the info. So Holistic Witchery is entirely recorded and worksheets and things. So you can join and just dive in on your own. I will say people tend to get overwhelmed because of it is a lot of information. And that we encourage people, though, not to go into all. It's actually not the point of Holistic Witchery isn't to just do everything top to bottom, because it is too much. It's really starting to live what you're learning, and then going to the tool you need when you need it. That's what Holistic Witchery is about. And so we are always working on how to best communicate that to ease overwhelm. It is, though, a complete toolkit on development, magic, coming back to yourself, remembering who you are, energy, working with energy. The bonuses are silly. The bonuses that are in there are just entirely silly. They're worth the program in and of itself. And you also get 1 year of our membership in there too, which has, you don't have to come to them, so not to overwhelm, but we do have tons of live Zoom group calls for the membership group where we call it co-witching. So we actually come together to set new moon intentions, and we have a rhythm to work through this again and again through a lunar cycle. You don't have to come to them. I'm a person whose time is very tight, and I'm ruthless with my time. So programs that I'm part of that involve live Zoom calls, I often don't go to them, which is completely fine with me, because I can watch the replay if I want to, or I can just use the community group. So there's no pressure to come to them. We love when you come to them, but you don't have to come. Anyway, let's see here. Oh, yes, I see somebody saying, great class, need to know what the yellow light passed behind me was. I saw it too, and I did not stop to mention it. We'll have to look for it on the replay. We are in a very old house right now, though. It's an old Salem house. I will, here. Okay, I know I have to go. I told my family I'd be done. You see these floors, though? Aren't they awesome? They creak like nobody's business. We'll take some videos so we can show everybody. All right, then. Thank you so much for being here. Tomorrow, the day 4 will come out in the app. I do hope that you see it, get in there, and enjoy any of the comments, get inspiration from there, get help from Team Sisters Enchanted while we are all on deck ready to help you. And I will see you Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern time for our final live of this week. Y'all have been great. I really appreciate you being here. Our community is what makes us so awesome. So awesome. And Anna and Christina and Sarah Mill and everybody else here. All right, everybody, have a great day ahead, and I'll see you in 48 hours. Bye.